sometimes you see kids with a patch on their eye. Can you explain to me why you do that?
Yeah, so we use the patching if the brain has been switching off the image from one eye. So rather than getting double vision, say you hadn't sought any help for Evie and she's cross-eyed all the time, double vision, making her grumpy. Instead of living with that, children's brains are very flexible and they basically start to ignore that second image.
Right.
And so if you're ignoring the second image and the one eye's always turned inwards, then even when you put glasses on and straighten up the eyes, the image is weaker, the vision is weaker in that lazy amblyopic eye. And so then we use patching in addition to the glasses. And so that might be for 2 or 4 hours a day or longer, depending on how dense the amblyopia is or how bad the vision is in the lazier eye. Because what we're trying to do is give the weaker eye as much visual stimulation as we can and not let the brain switch off the image to that eye. So by patching the good eye, that eye is doing all the seeing, all the looking, all the visual processing, and really strengthening those brain pathways. And so, patching can be really difficult, and I really admire parents who...
How do you stop them from ripping it off?
Yeah, it's very difficult. So, some kids put up with their patches reasonably well, especially if their vision's picking up, and so they're not terribly poorly sighted.
Right.
Patching can be very difficult if the weaker eye is much weaker. So lots of bribery, sticker charts, all sorts to try and get kids through tricky patches of patching, tricky phases of patching. And again, some parents find that easier to do at preschool. So it's like part of the routine that you get to preschool with your eye patch on, wear it for a couple of hours and take it off at morning tea. And there's lots of distraction and other stuff going on, so the kid's not thinking about their patch. Some parents do use some screen time, because you can put the patch on, give the child 20 minutes of screen time. They forget they're wearing their patch and then they go about their play. So it's another way of doing it. And if the patches really don't work, then we can also look to doing eye drops. So we use dilating eye drops in the strong eye so that their eye can't focus as well. Usually that's combined with glasses so that you're getting the best vision you possibly can from the weaker eye and slightly blurred image in the good eye. And you can use those eye drops just twice a week, and it blurs the image enough that the other eye gets effective treatment.
So when you're patching, it's only for a couple of hours a day?
Yeah, so most kids it will be 2 to 4 hours a day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You can patch up to 8 hours a day, but again, that's not often. Usually it's 2 to 4. Yeah. And the other thing is some children have nystagmus. So when you cover up their good eye, their weaker eye will have a bit of nystagmus.
Right.
So one other way of doing patching is to do it for a full day, 1 or 2 days a week.
Right.
Because when you first patch their good eye, this eye doesn't know where to look and it's really wobbly.
Right.
But then after an hour or two, the nystagmus slows down, their vision's more stable, they're getting better vision. So for those children, actually being patched for a whole day is a good option. And the reason why we don't do too much patching is if you're always patching the good eye, then you're losing visual stimulation on that side. So you can overcorrect and end up with poorer vision in the better eye.
Right.
And then you have to stop patching for a little bit to try and get things kicking in again.
And how often would you check in with those parents that were patching?
But every 4 months.
Right. Okay.
Yes. And when you're coming because of patching, we don't need to put the eye drops in every time.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just coming to see the effect of the patching. If your kid's allowing you to patch, if you need to swap over to drops,
Great.
Yeah. Patching's very important, and again, we've sort of got the sensitive period until the child's 7 or 8 where they might need to do patching right up until that age, and then after that it's a bit less pointless.
Yeah.